Jambo, konnichiwa, hello, maganda hapon, mwadela mama na baba. Okay, it's me Masunga John, and today I'm going to show you the difference between remind someone of and remind someone about. Remind me of and remind me about. This is very important to people like ALTs or ESL students from English speaking ESL as a second language, English as a second language countries. I think this is very helpful, and to English teachers. I'm sure if you are an ALT, you have been asked several questions by the students or the JTs, especially in maybe Asia. I'm sure you have been asked such kind of questions. What's the difference between this and this? So I know this might look just as a simple thing to EFL guys or people, but it's very important because you might be a native speaker, but when you're asked to differentiate something from something, you might not be able to explain because you're native. So remind me of and remind me about. All right, so remind me of. Remind me of means to be reminded of something that happened before. Something that happened before. So for instance, you see something and that thing makes you remember something which happened some time ago or a long time ago. It reminds you of something that happened before. You don't say, remind me about something that happened years ago. No, we don't say that. So it remind of means to remind you of something that happened before. For instance, if you like music, I'm sure you know this music, this song from Asha Raymond, which says, you remind me of the girl. You remind me of the girl that I once knew. You remind me of the girl that I once knew. See her face whenever I look at you. So when you look at that girl, she reminds you of someone you knew before. Maybe ex-girlfriend or ex-wife or anybody. I'm not sure what he meant, but that meant something. I mean, it meant when he looked at that girl, she reminded him of someone he knew before. So it reminded him about the past. So simply it reminds you about something which happened before. How about remind me about or remind someone about? Remind someone about means to be reminded about something you must do. Something you must do. So this simply you can say it comes after. So for example, please remind me about the meeting. You have a meeting. You have the plans already in place. You have planned, and what you're supposed to do is to do that thing. So it reminds you of something you must do. I mean, reminds you about something you must do. So simply, maybe you can say future. You have to do something in the future. Later, okay? Okay, for example, if you have an appointment and you're not sure if maybe you might forget about that appointment. So let's say you tell your young brother or sister or your mother or your father, and you tell them, please remind me about my appointment. Let's say with a doctor or with a salesperson or with anyone. So you have to be reminded of something you have to do later. So simply you can say, remind me of, it reminds you of the past. Something that happened before. It reminds you of something that happened before. So it makes you remember something. Maybe bad or anything. Say, okay, wow, this dress here reminds me of my grandmother. Your grandmother is no longer, she's gone. So when you see that dress, you say, oh, this dress reminds me of my grandmother. But when you say remind me about, in most cases, you have to be reminded about something you must do or have to do later. So remind me about my appointment, remind me about my meeting, remind me about my homework, remind me about something you have to do later. So that was just a simple explanation of the difference between remind me of and remind me about. I'm sure you will come across, maybe one day you'll be asked very simple questions like that, like this one. So it's just a help to ULTs or ESL teachers in general. So please use this, as a reference when you come across that kind of question. All right, it's Masunga John, and that's all for today. Please, I'll be giving you more educational tips later. Okay, so please subscribe, like, comment, and share this video. It's Masunga John, and thank you for watching this video. Goodbye, kwaheri, paalam jane.